Imagine playing a video game that you like so much and getting paid to play it every single day. Being watched by millions online, possibly winning millions of dollars. Millions of dollars, not pesos, millions of dollars. That's esports. But as crazy as that might sound, it's really not that simple. Because what does it take to become a professional esports player? There are many similarities between esports and traditional sports. In fact, professional players from Southeast Asia are now being regarded as athletes, as the 30th SEA Games has mandated 6 different esports titles as medal events. You heard that right. Esports athletes can now take home gold medals for their country. However, it's really not as easy as you think it is. I mean, just because you spend all night playing video games doesn't mean you can be a professional gamer.
Yung typical training day namin is we practice 6 days a week, 3 scrims per day.
In traditional sports, a typical day of an athlete starts off with waking up very early in the morning. So they start off with breakfast and then they do their usual workout, whether it's jogging, weight training, or any physical routine. And then they go to their own gyms or workout facilities to train more for their games. And finally, they play one game in front of a live audience. Esports are a little bit different. So while players have physical training as part of their regimen to reach peak performance, the main focus is still in the game itself. Take for example a Dota 2 professional athlete. They play for hours to warm up and then they play scrims. Simulated games in traditional sports for even more hours. The grind to improve can be long and tedious. I mean, especially if you're doing the same thing over and over and over and one more time, over again. But that's what an esports athlete needs to do in order to stay on top of the game.
Scrims is very important kasi doon nyo matatry yung chemistry nyo, doon kayo magpa-practice kung ano yung gusto nyo gawin, yung playstyle nyo. Doon mo din malalaman kung sino-sino yung malalakas sa community ng Dota.
Nag-i-start po kami maglaro, 12 noon hanggang 9 PM. Then, yung mga scheduled practice po namin and scrims, nakadepende na po yun sa coach namin, sa managers namin. Sila po yung nagsiset nung time nung scrim po namin. Pero usually po, 4 PM onwards po. Then, if wala naman po kami mga scrimmage, nagpa-pub game lang po kami, rank games. Hindi po kami nag-aaksaya ng oras na wala pong gagawin if walang mga scrims po.
Esports can be just as physical as traditional sports in a way. Just like how basketball players practice their three-pointers, esports athletes have to practice their combos, their tricks, and their go-to strategies. The mental strength and fortitude needed to remember and execute these moves can be unforgiving, especially when you're playing long matches.
Other players would practice skill rotations on their heroes, mga combos sa mga heroes nila over and over and over again. So these things are a key component if you want to master and be good at anything. It's really to make sure that your fundamentals are muscle memory. You don't have to think about them. Kasi yung lag time between iniisip mo paano nga pala gagawin yung move na yun and actually doing them is very, very big. It's very, very important to get that out of the way and just get your body to do the move without you having to think about it when it's called for, when it matters.
For me, ma-determine kung sinong ahead sa match is depende sa supply and kung sino yung mas maraming bases. Kasi it's more on resource battle din yung StarCraft 2. So sino mas maraming base and sino mas ahead sa economy.
For every extension of Tekken, I kinda liked it because there's always something to look forward to. And then when Tekken 6 came, I became more interested with the game because the gameplay changed like for the better because the combos were good and were longer and the characters had a unique different type of attitudes and personality.
Iba siya yung pagka-intense ng game, parang onting decision mo, onting mali mo, onting pagkakamali mo, malaki na yung mangyayari sa laro. Parang kailangan lahat ng decision making mo precise, accurate, tip, dapat hindi ka magkamali. Yung mga, lalo na yung mga clutch moments na ganito na lang buhay. Ang sarap sa pakiramdam eh. Kahit na talo ka, panalo ka, sobrang sarap.
Much like a specific basketball player likes to use their own specific shoe, or a pool player wants to play with his own cue stick, esports players take value in their peripherals. While it's true that anybody can win a game regardless of their own mouse or keyboard, advantage comes to those with more competitive gear designed for their personal preferences.
It's all about really knowing what performance required to be from our products, from our software and services. So if we talk about where Razer comes in, aside from really knowing as a pioneer in the industry and leader in the industry, we want to give the best. The best is not just for any gamers, but the best performance that you can take the product to performance, to compete in a tournaments. So these are not just about the professional athletes, but anyone who is serious about gaming or anyone who want to find out about gaming. So how Razer comes in is to really understand what performance is required for the athletes, professional, semi-professional, even amateurs. We want to take different levels of gaming requirement into our product, software and services, and that's what Razer is committed to drive. We work across all different partners and exactly how we want to implement the way that will complement all the different gamers at different levels.
Siguro pag maganda yung gears mo, confident ka sa mga movements ng mouse. Comfortable ka, tsaka smooth yung paggalaw ng mouse at keyboard mo. Siguro yun.
Sobrang importante po ng mga gears and mga gadgets po para sa amin kasi ito po yung ginagamit namin for playing na po.
I train hard because for my dreams and for my family.
Esports athletes. Athlete is the key word here. The differences with traditional sports are many, but there is one key thing that binds them. The level of passion, dedication, and grit they show each and every day, embracing the grind towards greatness.